Hi, it's Nancy and welcome to the Nancy Stevens Show and welcome to this week's theatre review. I have just been to see Grease at Milton Keynes Theatre, which is on till the 28th of August, and Grease is definitely the word. Really enjoyed it. I haven't seen it for many a year, and yeah, it was a really fresh contemporary approach. So just want to tell you a little bit about, if you've not seen Grease before, where have you been hiding for the last 40 odd years? Because the film came out in 1978, made stars of Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, and it's about Danny Zuko and Sandy who fall in love on holiday, and when they go back to school, Danny doesn't want to know her because he's a cool guy and he's in the T-Birds, and Sandy's a goody two-shoes, and it's just not a cool thing for him to be associated with her. So we all know the story, and they go back to Rydale High School, which is set in 1958-59, so with all the bobby socks and the big skirts and the hoop skirts and everything. It's a different era, milkshakes and burger bars, and as I say, Danny is part of the T-Birds, the gang, and Sandy wants to join the Pink Ladies, or the Pink Ladies are kind of the female kind of equivalent of a gang, and she eventually wants to join them, and we kind of know it's kind of a little bit Romeo and Juliet, really. But obviously this is a new version, I suppose. It's a much more contemporary version. So if you're expecting the film, you're going to be disappointed, because it is not like the film. So I would say, if you've seen the film, let's manage expectations now. Do not go expecting the songs to be sequential, or there's some songs in there that I've never even heard of before. And actually that's okay. It's for a new audience. And the songs that they've used and the things that have changed, i.e. they're not called the T-Birds, they're called the Burger Boys, are because they were in the original script, the original play. So not the movie musical, but the original play that was on Broadway. So that's why they've used it, because it's something different, and I think it will appeal to a different audience as well. I think it was set in innocent times, but quite adult themes, which you kind of, when you saw the movie as a child or as a young person, it kind of went over your head. You didn't realize, but there's some very adult themes. Talk about sort of teenage pregnancy, and there's kind of sort of rivalry and the kind of gang thing going on, and so there's a lot of sort of undercurrents of not necessarily very pleasant subjects. But again, when you go and see the movie when you're young, you don't sort of notice these things. But I think this fresh approach, directed by Nicolai of the Curve Leicester, is, I think, really great, because, as I say, it just turns it on its head, and you're not thinking, oh well, I know what's coming next, because you don't know what's coming next, and it's great and it's fresh, and that's what he does so well. That's why his productions are so successful. Choreography by Arlene Phillips. Again, you can always tell that when Arlene Phillips has choreographed any show, the choreography is so on point. It's so sharp and precise. The kicks and the flicks, everything is just perfect. And she is, without a doubt, one of our greatest living choreographers. The star of the show, of course, is Peter Andre. That's what you're paying your money to see. And honestly, he's worth the ticket price alone. He is so camp and so professional and so hilarious. He's got the most brilliant singing voice, and he has the audience eating out of the palm of his hand. He really does. He's not on for long, but when he's on, you cannot stop watching him. He makes you smile. I mean, even talking about him now, I'm smiling. And he knows what he's doing. I mean, he won New Faces in Australia at the age of 16. He's been performing his whole life. He is just fantastic. And he plays Teen Angel and Vince Fontaine, and really camps it up, goes to town completely. So yeah, so if you're a big Peter Andre fan, as my friend Pam, who came with me, was, you will not be disappointed. And yeah, he is, say, worth the ticket price alone. Just really wanted to mention the ensemble, actually, because the ensemble actually don't always get the kind of the look in, or the mention, or the kudos that they deserve, because they are the backbone. They are the kind of the sandwich, and obviously the main characters are the meat and the sandwich, but they're the sandwich, and without them there is no show. And some really great characters who are, performers I'd like to mention. I'm going to actually read them out, because I want to get the names correct. Firstly, I really want to mention Tendai Rinamata, who is playing Rizzo. She is just brilliant. She's got that star quality. You cannot stop watching her. She's a sassy little actress, and yeah, she's going to go places. She's fantastic. I also love Paul French as Kaneki. Again, he's got that edge, that swagger, and it just works really. He's fantastic. Loved him as well. Josh Barnett as Roger. What a voice! And again, what great comic timing. And when there's one particular note that he hits, and it literally you just get goosebumps and goosebumps. He is incredible. Also wanted to mention Inez Budd as Marty. An incredible dancer. You cannot take your eyes off her. She's so balletic in her movement. Really, really professional. So a really great ensemble cast, I have to say. I just wanted to mention the leads. Dan Partridge as Danny Zuko. I felt that he needed to sort of come out of his shell a little bit, and obviously there's obvious comparisons to John Travolta, who obviously was, created the original role. So I think even maybe they could have dyed his hair black so it would differentiate him from the others. I just needed to sort of be more confident in his own skin, because it felt like he became more confident as the show went on, but it took a while to grow. And then he's playing opposite Georgia Louise as Sandy, and again I would say slight miscasting, but not in a bad way. She's a fantastic actress and an incredible voice, but the voice I think was too big for the role of Sandy. The role of Sandy to me is quite saccharine, quite sweet, little goody two shoes. And that's how Olivia Newton-John played the role so beautifully all those years ago. But I would say with Georgia, her voice is so big and it's so amazing. I mean, it's spine-tinglingly brilliant. But I would see her as Elphaba in Wicked or Elsa in Frozen on the West End. That's how big her voice is. And because her voice is so big, it kind of sort of makes everybody else look not as competent, and they are, but that's why I just think she's got a future as a West End star, definitely. But I say for Sandy, it wasn't that it didn't work, it just, that's what I think. So I think a big voice, but not necessarily for Sandy. But a great show, really good, really great fun, a new take on it. So I would say go with a really open mind. It's fun. It's musical theatre at its best. It's camp. The dancing is incredible, as I say already. The songs, I say, even if you don't know all the songs, you will know some of the songs. You're the One That I Want, Summer Loving, all those songs, you and Breathe Lightning, you will absolutely love. My only critique is that at the end, I don't want to really spoil it, but I wasn't massively impressed with the finale in terms of what Sandy was wearing. I just spoiled it because everything else had been 50s costumes and the hoop skirts and everything, and Sandy should come out wearing kind of what I'm wearing. I thought I'll go as Sandy post corruption, as it were, leather trousers and high heels and it's off the shoulder top, and she kind of had skinny jeans on and Converse, and it just didn't really work. And I just thought I didn't really understand the point of that. It felt like they were trying to sort of do like a millennial kind of version of it, and I say everything else was contextual with the costumes, but that just felt incongruous. That didn't work for me. So that was my only critique. But it's a great show. Peter Andre is worth the ticket money alone. Go and see it. It's at Milton Keynes Theatre till Saturday the 28th of August. So tickets are available, I believe. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please click on the link below to the Nancy Stevens Show. And I will see you next week for another theatre review. Break a leg. Bye.